What is going on, everyone? Thank you all so very much for listening to this hotline here on Wednesday, December 2019, here on DF from RI 2.0. And before I get in and talk about the hot stove, which is really going to be the majority of what this video is going to be, well, not video, but hotline, so to say, I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all because something great happened. We are over 100 subscribers here on this YouTube channel. And I want to thank all of the fans out here, all of the committed fans. Whether you like sports coverage, whether you like me talking about the NFL, the Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL, which I'm going to get into in the weeks to come. Pro wrestling, with my partnerships with the Wrestling Observer, which that I give to this YouTube community. Thank you all so very much for subscribing. It really means a lot to me. I didn't know if I was ever going to be doing these hotlines ever again after Columbus Day, but I've had people tell me don't give up the dream. Keep fighting. Despite the struggles that I had in my life, I felt like I wanted to come out here and continue doing the things that I love. The hobby, talking sports and talking professional wrestling, which we will get into in this hotline at some point. So, thank you all so very much, guys. Really means a lot to me, and we got a jam-packed hotline to talk about tonight. I think this is going to be the longest hotline since I did last week when we talked about the college football playoffs, championship week when they had the rankings. So I'm going to be talking a lot about the hot stove and the news that have came out on the hot stove. We're in the winter meetings right now, so this is a busy time of year for baseball fans. So I'll be talking about Didi Gregorius going to the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm actually going to be throwing in some Red Sox news in there for all my Red Sox Nation friends out there. David Price. Rumors about him being dealt. I'm going to get into the latest on Garrett Cole. I got my phone with me, and all of the people in that group that I'm in, the Brian Cashman group, I had told them that I have an exclusive on Garrett Cole. Now, I'm not going to say if he's going to sign with this team or that, but I can tell you something that I saw on social media tonight, which alerted me, and I am going to be sharing the news with you guys tonight. So, consider it as like Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer breaking news on something. I'm going to be channeling a little bit of David Meltzer tonight. And then I'm going to get into a little bit of the NFL. So, apparently, Spygate has a sequel. I'm going to give you my take on that. So, let's start it off with the hot stove right now. The first thing that I want to talk about, and this is where I'm trying to get the news over here. I'm trying to get all of the stuff over here, so I know that there is some dead air for a second, but I want to get into Didi Gregorius. So Didi Gregorius will not be a Yankee in the 2020 season. We all know about the whole Garrett Cole situation, and we know that there is going to be a shitload of money that Garrett Cole is going to be getting. So, the Yankees, their goal. Their goal is to get Garrett Cole. Okay? But they did lose a player that they had last season, Didi Gregorius. So, Didi Gregorius is going to be in the Philadelphia Phillies next season. He joins former manager Joe Girardi as he signed a one-year deal, $14 million. I'm going to say it like this. If there's one thing that concerns me in this Garrett Cole sweepstakes, it's the fact that the Yankees are going to blow this thing. Would not be shocked if they do. And I have to come out and do an emergency hotline, and you hear me going all ranty, all ravey, all bitchy, saying F this, F that, having a fucking temper tantrum. But I kind of feel like they did blow it. And here's why. Didi Gregorius, and you always hear this, you have big shoes to fill. And he had big shoes to fill, becoming that successor for Derek Jeter. Now, in his first season in pinstripes, there were some growing pains. And then from 2016 to 2018, I have to say, he was one of the Yankees, actually got more on this Garrett Cole situation right now. Just got an alert on my phone, and I will share that with you in just a moment. So, got a little bit distracted over here. He was the more consistent hitter for the Yankees during that time frame. And then 2017 plays a role in the American League Divisional Series. He hits a 2-run home run off Corey Kluber, or Kluber, whatever you like to call him, to help the Yankees come back from a $2 million deficit and go to the ALCS. And I read this on Twitter. Didi Gregorius was able to perform the daunting task of replacing Derek Jeter and became one of the most beloved Yankees since he's been on the roster. His presence on and off the field will be missed, and now the Yankees need to find a new shortstop in the lineup. And there's talk about who the new shortstop is going to be. You know, there's rumblings going around that it could be Addison Russell. I talked about that, I think it was Monday on the hotline after the Patriots, you know, the whole fiasco that they got screwed against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then we know this past season he was limited due to Tommy John surgery and just struggled to come back to that form that he's been known for. And then we talked about the qualifying offer that the Yankees try to give him. But, you know, Gregorius declined that. Now, I have to say it like this. Why couldn't the Yankees give him like a similar offer to what Philadelphia did? I'm a guy that believes in second chances. To me, Didi Gregorius deserved to have another chance for this organization. I wanted to see him, you know, have a full season in the Bronx. Who knows what he could have done in the playoffs in 2020 for the Yankees if the Yankees do have the opportunity of getting to the playoffs in 2020. But I felt like Brian Cashman and company neglected him. And now we're going to have to find a void at shortstop. Now, let me get into some Boston Red Sox talk here. So, Boston Red Sox, I'm going to say it, they're in a fire sale right now. They're in the task of rebuilding their organization. And there's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen. So, let's get in and talk a little bit more about the Boston Red Sox here. And we know that in Beantown, the Boston Red Sox are going to be going on this fire sale this winter. Rumors of them trading Mookie Betts could possibly happen, but there is news that came out that David Price is going to be one of the names being traded during the offseason. And David Price, let's just say they're going to attach a prospect or two to come in and sweeten the deal and support any franchise's decision to take on that sort of contract. And there are several teams which will be smart to make such a move in hopes of rebooting Price's career. So the first team that I have on the list is the Chicago White Sox. The Chicago White Sox, they're trying to rebuild. And what better way to do that than to eat the rest of David Price's contract and add to their farm system in the same deal. Not to mention, Price could revitalize a rotation that needs a leader. The second team is the Texas Rangers. Now, the Texas Rangers, I do believe they're in the Garrett Cole sweepstakes. There's no question about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts on that. I think they're going to be some sort of a players in this. But here's why you kind of consider the Rangers in there. I don't know if I said the Texans. But it's the Rangers. They open a new stadium. Of course, you want to have a big splash. Now, when you want to open a big stadium, you want to have, that team. That team that's, sexy, so to say. So, think about it for a moment. Garrett Cole could be that name. Could be that big fish in the pond that they get. How about an Anthony Rendon? Now Anthony Rendon is going to get interest from teams because the Nationals basically said, hey, listen, we had to choose between Strasburg and Rendon. We have to go with pitching. So trading for Price, it does give Texas an anchor for their rotation and another big name to really get fans to put asses in the fucking seats. Last but not least, the Angels. This is the team that makes the most sense here. Now, there is an exclusive that I am going to be breaking here right now. Earlier tonight on Reddit. Now, Reddit is a social media website that I like to go on, just to get involved with the community over there. And, there's a lot of people that, go on there, they debate. I'm one of those guys that goes on there and debates about baseball. Now, I'm not going to mention who this user was on Reddit. But this user, even before the news came out, now, Kozart, he predicted that Kozart was going to get traded. And this was 5 hours before Kozart got traded. Now, he says that the Angels are out of the Garrett Cole sweepstakes. And that they're going to go after David Price. He also said that Anthony Rendon is a possibility going to the Angels. And that Korean pitcher, I can't even say this, Ryu, is on their list as well. Now, I'll say this. This is hearsay. Take it with a grain of salt. Read what you want into it. But if the Angels are out of the Garrett Cole sweepstakes, like I said, this is a move over here that makes sense. Now, when it comes to Garrett Cole, you got to think for a moment. Who is Garrett Cole? Like, what team is he going to go to? We know it's not going to be the Angels, according to this Reddit user. Now, this Reddit user, I'll get back to him right now. There's two theories on this Reddit user, and like I said, this is all hearsay. A, he's probably a baseball fan. Could be a she. We don't know. We don't know the sex. Probably could be a baseball fan. Or B, and this has been popular with Reddit over the last few years, is probably a mole in the Angels organization and is probably at the winter meetings and giving insight information on what's happening over there. So, those are two possibilities. And this is an organization that says, hey, you know what? We can land $2 million plus players. David Price could be one of those players and can help a revamped Angels rotation as well. Now, back to Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole, to me, right now, if you look at the teams, I think the Yankees and Dodgers are in it, definitely. I'm going to say the Philadelphia Phillies, because the Philadelphia Phillies, you know, they're going to want to come out and play hardball. Sure, they got Zach Wheeler. You know what? We want to add another pitcher because of the fact that we want to contend for a World Series in 2020. I mean, we got Bryce Harper. We got one of the best bats in the lineup. Yeah, he did struggle in his first year, but Bryce Harper has the opportunity to come back and become the Bryce Harper that we saw with the Nationals. The Texas Rangers. Of course, the Texas Rangers are going to be in play. Now, there's two mysterious teams out there. One of the mysterious teams out there is the Houston Nationals. It's already been reported. Now, it's already been reported because of the fact that the Astros, they're entertaining the ideas of trading Carlos Cora. And that's what Ken Rosenthal reports. You know why they want to fucking trade fucking Carlos Cora. Because of payroll. They want to come in and say, you know what? We got the fucking money to sign fucking Garrett Cole. To keep him in this organization. They don't have the money right now. They don't have the necessity to sign a Garrett Cole unless they take one of their players and trade them to another team. It's not going to be the Yankees. So all you fucking Yankee fans out there that say, oh, I'd like to see Carlos Cora. I'd like to see him with the New York Yankees. You really fucking think that the fucking Houston Astros are gonna fucking trade with the New York Yankees? You guys are out of your fucking mind if you believe in that. Really. So, who is this mysterious team? Who knows? It could be the San Diego Padres. You know, you're talking about a West Coast team. Maybe the San Diego Padres could be that mysterious team. So, we'll wait and see what happens. But, let's get into the Steven Strasburg, the mega deal. So, the Washington Nationals, this week, Steven Strasburg stays with the Washington Nationals. So this was a 7-year deal, $245 million. Now, this was the same deal that was reported when it came to the Garrett Cole news, but there is a lot of effect and a lot of the ripple effect of what's going to happen with this deal. Now, we talked about Garrett Cole. Now, there's one thing that I want to mention with Garrett Cole, and this goes into another sports insider on Twitter. Now, I read this morning, and like I said, with that user that was on the Angels Reddit page and talked about how Garrett Cole is not going to go to the Angels. There's this guy, and he predicted last year that Manny Machado was going to go to the San Diego Padres. What happened? Manny Machado did go to the friggin' San Diego Padres. When you look at the NBA, you look at the NBA where he predicted that Kawhi Leonard was going to go to the Los Angeles Clippers. And what happened? That signing became intimate. It happened. So, we don't need to talk about Garrett Cole. We'll see what happens. But, like I said, this user basically said that he sees Garrett Cole signing with the Yankees. I talked about Anthony Rendon. Anthony Rendon, I mentioned the two teams. The Texas Rangers and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. But if the Rangers don't get Rendon, Josh Donaldson will go to the Texas Rangers. That's my prediction on that. And then Chris Bryant. This is a name that I did not talk about in this hotline. Chris Bryant, this was a report from John Paul Missouri on MLB.com that the Nationals have made an inquiry to the Chicago Cubs about trading for third baseman Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant is among the top position player trade candidates this offseason. Where he ends up depends on what happens with his service time grievance. Depending on what happens with the grievance, Bryant could become a free agent after the 2020 season instead of after the 2021 season, where he is going to be hitting the market. Chris Bryant's numbers: 282, 31 home runs, 77 ribbies. Anthony Rendon had much better numbers than Chris Bryant this year. Now, is this going to be an upgrade? Not exactly. Now, this is a solid replacement, but I do see Chris Bryant possibly going to the Nationals if Rendon does not return. So, you look at the ripple effects right there. How the Washington Nationals spent $245 million for a player that's going to stay with the team for 7 years. You know they're not getting Garrett Cole. We already fucking know that. Anthony Rendon, to me, they're not going to fucking retain Anthony Rendon. The most likely scenario right now is them trading for Chris Bryant. That's what I see what happens here. And we are going to move on to the final topic of this hotline. And finally, the New England Patriots have already admitted that they were in the wrong with regards to the latest controversy that has been talked about in the sports world and even was talked about on the national news at 6:30 today on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. The latest controversy. People are calling it Spygate the sequel. They came out, they put out a statement that confirmed that a camera crew filmed a scout for their website's Do Your Job web series and just so happened to pick up some Cincinnati Bengals play calls 1 week before the Patriots are going to play the Cincinnati Bengals. Naturally, they didn't tell Cincy nor the NFL. So they come out with this statement and, they talk about the fact that it was their responsibility, that they admitted that, all right, the video crew violated league policy, saying it was unintentional. Let me just say this. Classic New England. Classic New England right here. So, 1 week before you play the Cincinnati Bengals, you just happened to record video of their sidelines. And when presented with this information, you pin it all on a couple of fucking employees. Sounds like par for the course for a team that finds itself in a crisis PR situation more than most NFL teams do. Now, as a team, are they in a crisis based on what has happened the past couple of weeks with their body of work? I'll say a mini crisis, so to say, but I won't get into that topic here in this hotline. But this statement showed that there is more than acknowledgement that NFL rules were indeed broken. The league has given no indication about punishment, but if any employees who filmed the Bengals had any intent to deliver the footage to anyone on the football team, there is zero evidence of this at the current time, and I'm just fucking being honest. But if it does happen to be the truth, that's a huge problem for the Patriots organization. Before anything else happens, of course, New England has already thrown its video team under the bus. Not fucking surprising. I'm out of here. Subscribe to the channel. Peace and love.